Chapter 1, Desire, the starting point of all achievement, the first step towards success. In order to succeed, your desire to succeed must be greater than your fear of failure. Bill Cosby. Your desire, that is the first step towards success, must be a burning desire. Before you develop burning desire, you first have to understand what a burning desire is. This can be explained best in the following story. Once upon a time, a young man wanted to know how to have a burning desire to achieve his goals. So he went to China to ask a wise Chinese man how to have a strong, burning desire. The wise Chinese man got a large bowl of water and then put the young man's head in the bowl of water for a few minutes. The young man started slowly to get his head out of the water, but didn't succeed. After a few minutes, the young man shoved the wise Chinese man off and got his head out of the bowl of water. The young man asked, "What were you trying to do?" The wise Chinese man replied, "What did you learn from this experience?" The young man said, "Nothing." Then the wise Chinese man replied, "Yes, you learned something. At first, when you tried to get your head out of the bowl of water, you weren't successful because your desire was not strong enough. But afterwards, when your desire was strong, you were able to get your head out of the bowl of water, and this is exactly the type of desire needed to achieve one's goal." Now, let me ask you something. Do you have strong burning desire to achieve your goals? Do you have a burning desire to get up in the morning to do everything it takes to make your goal a reality? This is an important question that you have to answer. Many people say they want something, and after a while, they lose interest. Why? It is because they don't know the real reason why they want this specific goal. Why do you want your goal? Does it give you freedom, stability, security? Without strong, burning desire and willpower, you will give up quickly. You will not persist, and hence you won't achieve what you had in mind. Knowing exactly why you want something keeps the burning desire awake inside of you at all times, and it will lead you to take action. Studies show that the best time to program your subconscious mind with an idea is before sleeping. Make sure before you sleep to think of your goal and why you want it. It is crucial to fuel the burning desire, as feelings are energy, and they will help you stay focused on your goal. Do you know that only 3% of the world's population manage to plan and reach their goals? Thomas Edison dreamed of a lamp that could be operated by electricity, began where he stood to put his dream into action. And despite more than 10,000 failures, he stood by that dream until he made it a physical reality. Practical dreamers do not quit. The Wright brothers dreamed of a machine that would fly through the air. Now, one may see evidence all over the world that they dreamed soundly. The world has become accustomed to new discoveries, and it has shown a willingness to reward the dreamer who gives the world a new idea. The greatest achievement was, at first, and for a time, but a dream. The oak sleeps in the acorn, the bird waits in the egg, and in the highest vision of the soul, a waking angel stirs. Dreams are the seedlings of reality. Awake, arise, and assert yourself. You dreamers of the world. Your star is now in the ascendancy. The world is filled with an abundance of opportunity which the dreamers of the past never knew. A burning desire to be and to do is the starting point from which the dreamer must take off. Dreams are not born of indifference, laziness, or lack of ambition. The world no longer makes fun at the dreamer, nor calls him impractical. Remember, too, that all who succeed in life get off to a bad start and pass through many heartbreaking struggles before they arrive. The turning point in the lives of those who succeed usually comes at the moment of some crisis, through which they are introduced to their other selves. Edison, the world's greatest inventor and scientist, was a tramp telegraph operator. He failed innumerable times before he was driven, finally, to the discovery of the genius which slept within his brain. Charles Dickens began by pasting labels on blacking pots. The tragedy of his first love penetrated the depths of his soul and converted him into one of the world's truly great authors. The tragedy produced first David Copperfield, then a succession of other works that made this a richer and better world for all who read his books. Helen Keller became deaf, dumb, and blind shortly after birth. Despite her greatest misfortune, she has written her name indelibly in the pages of the history of the great. Her entire life has served as evidence that no one ever is defeated until defeat has been accepted as a reality. Booker T. Washington was born into slavery, handicapped by race and color. Because he was tolerant, had an open mind at all times, on all subjects, and was a dreamer, he left his impress for good on an entire race. Beethoven was deaf. Milton was blind. But their names will last as long as time endures, because they dreamed and translated their dreams into organized thought. Dr. Mae Jemison was the first African-American woman to travel into space. From her humble beginning to space was no small achievement. Light in your mind the fire of hope, faith, courage, and tolerance. If you have these states of mind and a working knowledge of the principles described, everything you need will come to you when you are ready for it. Let Emerson state the thought in these words: every proverb, every book, and every byword that belongs to thee for aid and comfort shall surely come home through open or winding passages. Every friend who not thy fantastic will, but the great and tender soul in thee caveth, shall lock thee in his embrace. There is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one is ready for a thing until he believes that he can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. Closed minds do not inspire faith, courage, and belief. Remember, no more effort is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity, than is required to accept misery and poverty. A great poet correctly stated this universal truth that I quoted earlier through these lines. I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. However, I begged at evening when I counted my scanty store. For life is a just employer. He gives you what you ask. But once you have set the wages, why, you must bear the task. I worked for a menial's hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I had asked of life, life would have willingly paid.
Ms Hoa Giao Tiếp, tiếng Anh là chuyện nhỏ.